Okay, I figured out my key to success, now I'm locked in. I learned how to open doors like a locksmith. I'm uptown, I'm the one they wanna shop with. Run off with the bag even though we don't shoplift. All that gun talk y'all want, I'm not with. It's not cool, everybody got them long clips. You gon' mess around and get one of your dogs hit. And when you do, I hope you know you're not John Wick.
Welcome back. You're now locked in with DK and Atwood. I'm Atwood. Killer to my left here, DK. On the Mets at the Next Element Academy, DK's fine establishment here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
It's ours. I like to call it ours.
Okay.
Not just mine.
Ours.
I like to call it our teams because a lot of people just, I mean, you got to take ownership too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's at a point now where, I mean, I mopped the mats this morning on the front mat. But, you know, people help take care of it just as I am.
That's true.
I just pay all the bills and take care of all the day-to-day operations and stuff so it can keep running. Otherwise, it wouldn't.
But it wouldn't be here if it weren't for you.
Yeah, I'm grateful, man. And it wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our members either.
That's true.
So it's
okay.
It's a catch-22, I guess you could say.
At our fine establishment.
Yeah, man. But, yeah, it's cool.
It's fight week. Multiple fight weeks here. 3 if you include all the guys that are grappling this weekend. So I thought this would be a good time. I know we've talked before about your preparations for fights and like the emotions and stuff leading up to the fight, like the day of and stuff, but I don't know if we've ever really hashed out what a fight week is like.
Mm-hmm.
And since we have multiple going on here, I figured today would be a good time to do that. So, you know, heading into
started it up, yeah.
Like,
so if you're fighting, let's say a Friday, because I think everybody's fighting on a Friday. I think Jay-Z's fighting on Friday. Austin's fighting on Friday. Bellator, when I fought in Bellator, it was on a Friday. Numerous times so weigh-ins are on Thursday. So you start your water load probably around Saturday or Sunday. So you do 3 days water load.
And what that means? Water loading,
yeah. So let's talk about that as well. Yeah. So it's what I do. I go shopping leading up to fight week. So like the day before I start my water load, meaning I take in large amounts of water every day. So first day it starts off with either 2 gallons, and then the next day is 2.5 gallons. Next day we try to shoot for 3 gallons.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Some people used to do just 2, 2, and 2. So yeah, it's a lot of water. Back in the day, man, I had heard something about like distilled water because it didn't have anything in it, right? Like it didn't even have any sodium in it. It didn't have anything, and it was like cleaning you out. So, yeah, I used to do just distilled water, and I think that's why I had some hiccups, fighting at 55 because I didn't know any better. But then, I had heard, I was like, dude, you're not in a fucking household appliance to be putting, distilled water in, and I'm like, you're right, dude. Why aren't I drinking like high pH water? Why aren't I drinking spring water? Different things that have minerals, vitamins, and different things like that. A lot of people have the thought that the sodium's going to stick to you and all this. Well, if you're only getting like or just even 1% sodium, 2% sodium, 3% sodium, it's the all week long. That's not bad at all, So I started doing Crystal Geyser was my go-to for my water because it's just from a spring, and I think it's in North Carolina. I would probably switch nowadays if I had to redo it. I would probably do I think it's Mountain Valley or Mountain Spring.
No idea.
It's the green glass bottles. Mountain Spring. So I would do that nowadays if I had to do it any different. Just because of it being in glass, you don't have to worry about it being in the heat or the sun and the plastic seeping into the water. Cancer. Yeah, man. So, nowadays I would probably do that. I would probably get a whole case or something like that, and I would probably fill up I don't know. I think they're liter bottles, so 4 liters is gallon roughly. Mm-hmm. So you'd have to drink 8 of those in a day.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, 8 liters of water in a day. So I probably would have done that. Next thing would have been like my diet. So back in the day, I used George Lockhart. I think it's called Lockhart and Lath right now, or Late. You ever heard of him? So George Lockhart used to do John Jones' diet. He used to do a lot of MMA fighters' diet back in, he still does it to this day. And then I started using Dolce Diet. He has a 3 weeks to shredded plan that I used to follow, so all the way down to the T, like supplement-wise, water-wise, diet-wise. Did I say diet-wise?
Supplement and water.
Yeah, diet-wise, and then you use the jacuzzi instead of the sauna.
Okay.
Yeah, or
Probably.
a hot bath.
I feel like that would be, correct me if I'm wrong, easier than jumping in a sauna.
To some it is, man.
Yeah.
Austin, it's not.
Oh, he'd rather jump in a sauna.
Rather be in a sauna. Yeah.
Oh. Does he just feel like he sweats more, or?
I think that's what it is. He just he feels claustrophobic in a tub.
Oh.
And
okay.
So I just don't like your brain heating.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like whenever you're sitting in there and it's like you're breathing in hot air.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But then again,
so I got a trick for that.
Okay.
The trick is, and this is, so shoot me a comment. A thank you if you're a fighter for this. And if you've been around the game for a while, you might even know this. So I'd get a bag of ice, and then a big old bag of ice, or put it in a towel.
Oh.
And so I'd take it in the sauna with me, and I'd blow into it, and it would blow
cold air
back into your face, man.
Huh.
And it felt amazing. Or I'd and then, if it's in a towel, the water can like drip on your feet and stuff, and it feels so good, once it's on you. Even though you want to try to stay hot as possible, it just still feels good.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that every 10 minutes or whatever, and then stay in the sauna for 20 more minutes or whatever.
So that was one thing I used to do. But anyways, let's go back to fight week. I'd buy a bunch of stuff. I'd buy the best of everything, meaning water, meaning my rehydration stuff. So that's another thing that you got to take into effect is after your weight cut, you got to buy all your rehydration stuff, and we'll talk about that as well. But for my diet, when I was using Lockhart, I was doing, I had a diet that I was planning. A lot of it was chicken. A lot of it was a little bit of spinach, but then 3 days out from your fight, you start a boiled chicken diet.
Yeah. Remember you tell me that would suck.
So you do
and it smells like shit.
Dude.
It smells like shit.
You put it in a Tupperware. So I used to have to take it I was in active duty military, man. I'd have to take it to work with me. Ugh. And I'd pop that bad boy open, man, and it'd just be like, ugh.
Yeah.
But I would do every 3 hours, and this was the Lockhart diet. I would do every 3 hours, I would do 4 ounces of chicken, 1 tablespoon of almond butter.
Of what? Almond butter?
1 tablespoon of almond butter, yeah. And so I'd do that for 2 days. And then on the last day, I would do 2 ounces of boiled chicken with 1 tablespoon of almond butter. And then during that time, I can drink black coffee. And I think that was about, and water, obviously you're doing your water load during that time. Yeah. So that sucked.
Yeah.
That really sucked. So the thing about it is you're getting your proteins, you're getting your fats from your almond butter, and not many carbs,
Right.
Carbs, for me anyways, they tend to bloat me a little bit more and hold on to water. So anytime if you watched our last week's, we were talking about pizza, you eat that fucking pizza, bro. It'll load up on you, man.
Tons of energy, but yeah.
See, I don't know about energy for me. I'm like,
oh man. Well, yeah,
I ordered
if
two
I
pizzas, by the
overindulge-
way, after last.
Did you?
Yeah, I
You got
ordered
two?
two, man. I ordered two pizzas from Domino's.
Yeah.
Sorry. But anyways, so yeah, man, I would do that leading up, and then when I started, I got Dolce Diets 3 weeks straight. He has two. He has one that came out a long time ago. I used to do that one, and then I got his newest one within the past like 8 years, 7 years, or something like that. Maybe 9, 10 years ago. It might be even something even more out there now, you know. So I would do that. He has a diet meal plan in there that he used for Thiago Alves to get down to 170, all the way down from 198.
Wow.
Yeah, so I would make a little adjustments as far as like the food intake, because I've been almost 188, so I'd be 188, 185, using that going down to 55.
Right.
And so it's
in 3 weeks.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so I would follow that diet all the way down to the T. And the last week, it has supplements that you're supposed to take. So one of them is dandelion root, which is a natural diuretic, so it naturally gets rid of the water. So you'd take some dandelion root, you take vitamin C. If you guys don't know this, taking excess amounts of vitamin C helps you sweat out. It's an old bodybuilding trick.
Really?
Yeah.
So in a sense, it could dehydrate you.
Yes.
Did not know that.
Yep. It helps you get rid of water a little bit more.
Huh.
So I would take like 3,000 milligrams of that.
Damn.
A couple times a day.
A couple times a day?
Yeah, like
I think you're only supposed to like take in like 1,000 milligrams a day.
No, I don't think vitamin C you have a.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think
Oh,
there's a.
well, I'm just going by what I see on the bottles. Like every
Yeah,
time
yeah.
I get
I
sick,
used
like,
to
do
take-
not exceed.
No, I used to take 3,000 multiple times a day.
Wow.
Or maybe it was 1,500.
But it doesn't matter. That's still a whole
15.
lot.
I'm pretty sure it was 3,000. And then I would also take Uva Ursi. Uva Ursi is a pill you would take that helps for urinary tract infections, because you're pissing so much and you're just flushing out your whole entire system.
Yeah.
So it helps so you don't get urinary tract infection, on your as you're getting ready for a fucking MMA fight.
Right.
And the vitamin C also helps with you getting sick too, and
Yeah.
catching any viruses with your immune system and stuff like that. So those three right there, you would drink black coffee 2 times a day.
Can't do. I could not do that. Dude.
You can in fight camp, bro.
I guess.
You
I
can.
guess. But God,
You
that's
can in
just so
fight
bitter.
camp, especially if, like, it's in the morning, you just had your breakfast or whatnot. It's just like, I need to pick me up.
Yeah. Right.
And you're used to coffee, so, or if you would be used to coffee, and it's just a cup, 8-ounce cup of
That's
coffee,
true.
and you would be drinking green tea as well. So all those are natural diuretics as well, and it gives you a little bit of energy. I think also during that you would eat like a little bit of an orange, and so counting down, before your pre-workout, you would eat like an orange or half an orange and like half an avocado. And there was so many. The reason I did Dolce Diets is because I was tired of the fucking boiled chicken, man.
Yeah.
I was tired. Even though on like the day before weigh-ins, man, you're like, oh yes, it's time to eat. You're every 2 hours you can eat. And man, I would take the almond butter and sprinkle it on top of the chicken, man.
Yeah, to give it some
sort
of
and
flavor.
I'd suck the tablespoon thing out because I wanted every little bit of food I could get, man.
Yeah.
Going from 85 to 55, that's
In 3 weeks.
That's a
That
big
fucking
jump.
sucks.
Yeah.
When would you say you lose the most, like the majority of that weight? When you first start?
Yeah,
or?
when you first start, man, it just starts flying off, you're weekend, it starts coming off. It's the last little bit that's the hardest, dude. It's the last little bit. And it's based upon you as well. Like, we all tell ourselves that we could do a little bit extra, we could do this, and this. My downfall would be like, it'd be fight camp. I'd pick my daughter up from school. She'd be hungry. I'd be like, let's stop at Cookout or Chick-fil-A. let me get a fry.
Yeah.
Let me get another fry.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get another fry. One more.
Because we always tell ourselves, right? Like, it's like, oh, I'm going to burn this off tonight.
Yeah,
you
man.
know?
Yeah, but it's all, but a part of that is discipline too.
Yeah.
It's like when you come into the fight and you know that you've done all these things leading up to the fight, you know that, it's a good barrier that you can have against between you and your opponent. You know what you did. You know you've done the work that you needed to do in order to fight and fight like a professional. Mm-hmm. And so this is what we're going to do. So the nerves. So Sunday, if you fought on Friday, you're like, oh, it's fight week, because you're 5 days out. When Monday hits, you get a little excited. I always did anyways. I always got excited. I always got like a little boost of extra motivation. Mm-hmm. However, when you step on the scale, you're like, fuck. I got to cut all this weight, man. Yeah. See, me, I would still be 20 out right now. 20 pounds.
Man.
That's at 55.
4 days away.
That's at 55.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'd be stressing about that. And so that's not fun, man. It's not fun stressing about, over your weight, whether or not you're going to be able to make weight or whether or not you're going to miss weight and get fined. Right. Austin missed weight his last fight in Atlantic City by 0.2 or 3 pounds or something like that.
Cost him like what, like $400, $500?
Cost him $200 to $300, something like that, man. Because they do some like little, they do a
percentage, right?
Yeah, but it's like a formula that they do based upon your purse, your fight purse, and it's based upon your opponent's fight purse and shit like that. Like, so it's really weird, man. It's really weird. So it's just, you don't want to miss weight in Jersey, man.
You're right.
Yeah. So, yeah. And it would just be like, you're just motivated. You're ready to fight. It's been this long. It's like, fuck. You're like, I can finally kind of take it easy this week until fight night, and that's what I would do. I would I would take it easy. Still drill, still kind of, run and jog, still roll a little bit, but just not kill myself.
Just
too
sweating.
Much. Just sweating. Just not trying to expel too much energy because I'm trying to I'm trying to be ready for fight night. So Marab, on the other hand, I guess, doesn't do that. Marab does. He stays going the whole entire time. I guess like him and Aljo actually had like almost. Yeah, we talked about that. We're like, so
they fought before his fight.
Yeah, that's what they were saying, right? And so it says he does that all the way through his fight camp. You just have to be worried about getting cut, man. Like I got cut on Monday helping Jay-Z with wall rounds and grappling and stuff. So it's, just a pink little bitty headbutt. And if let's say I fought Friday night, it's on this side, but it's pretty much healed. But dude, somebody touches it with a punch, it's
open.
It's right back open. Yep. And who knows how big this time.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, man. Then visualization. I do a lot of visualization because I wasn't training as much during that time frame, so I would do a lot of visualization, meaning just laying down and going over the fight in my head, all the way down to the walkout, all the way down to, in the backroom preparation, what the venue's going to look like, what the crowd's going to be like, how it's going to be walking up into the cage, what the vinyl on my mat or on the mat or the canvas is going to feel like on my bare feet. The smell of alcohol, the yelling of drunk people. Yeah. Like these are my very first fight, these are all things that threw me off. These are all things that I was like, oh fuck. Like these people want me to kill this guy. Like
they want him to kill me.
Yeah, dude.
They don't give a fuck.
Fuck him up.
It's always
and
those
you
people
smell alcohol because people have spilt it. Yeah. And they're drinking it like crazy because, they've left the kids at home, or and it's party night,
Right.
So I just take all that in. I take the bass of the speakers and the music in, and I like see myself looking up, and I want to visualize the crowd. If I'm in a stadium, I want to visualize the lights, how hot and bright they are, or how dim and dull they might be. I want to visualize the announcer. I want to visualize the referee after the fight. We've had a good fight, and raising my hand. I visualize him raising my right hand and my left hand.
Right.
So I want to visualize him raising both hands, whether I'm depending on what corner I'm in, it depends on what hand you raise. So like all the way down to those fine little details, man. How my shorts, how I'm going to look, how I'm going to warm up and everything like that. A little stuffy over there.
Sinuses, man.
Sinuses, dude.
Every time before I'm about to go somewhere, this happens. But sorry, keep going.
I'm
just trying not to like fucking have snot all over me.
But yeah, man, like, it's just trying to take it all in, dude.
Yeah. So my question would be, as far as like the weight is concerned, would it be more beneficial instead of like waiting to cut all that weight in 3 weeks? Like if you started earlier out, because I remember like I kind of mentioned something to Jay-Z before, and you were like, well, you kind of want to cut, most of the weight or whatever. I think that's what you said
last week.
The last week. Yeah. So like, why is that?
So I want to diet down, obviously, but if you diet down all the way to 5 pounds out, you're like when you rehydrate and do it, you're only going to gain back that 5, 6, 7 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So let's say your opponent, I know dudes that have weighed in, me included, weigh in at, let's say 170, and then, now this wasn't me. I didn't cut shit I cut 5 to 8 pounds for 170.
To fight at 170.
But the dudes I was fighting
were
fucking
like 20.
monsters,
right,
dude.
Yeah.
Monsters. So that's what you run into if you start dieting down. Plus, you during your fight camp and everything, you're using so much energy. You need all the food you can get. You need all the calories you can get.
Gotcha.
Good calories, obviously. You don't want to be eating pizza and crap like that. Even though, like, I'd come in some days and, man, Kurt, my old Kurt Pellegrino, he would look at me and he'd be like, dude, he's like, back then during that diet, I was on the Lockhart diet, and it was a gluten-free. All gluten-free.
Is this the cauliflower pizza?
Cauliflower pizza.
Yeah.
He'd be like, go get your gluten-free pizza.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, dude. And, dude, I had drove 45 minutes all the way to practice just for him to kick me out of the gym because I didn't look like I was ready to train.
Right.
I was run down. I was worn out. I was active duty military and working a full-time job and then driving 45 minutes trying to get pumped up to go train. And, you're just dieting and shit like that too, and you just run down, man. And so you want to taste something good sometimes. I don't recommend pizza and cauliflower pizza or
God, it's horrible.
Even gluten-free pizzas. I mean, obviously, that was like 10 years ago, though.
Yeah.
Shit's changed.
Yeah, I'm sure they can make it taste good now.
Shit's changed. It's really weird how that happens.
I mean, anything's better than boiled chicken.
Man, dude, you're telling me, dude. You're telling me. But if you want to lose a lot of weight, man, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
And so I was losing a lot of weight, man. And, I remember getting ready for Bellator, and I'd go up on a Wednesday night. Weigh-ins were on a Thursday, so I'd go up on a Wednesday night. I'd sit in the hot tub or hot bathtub that night, and this is when I started listening to reggae really heavy.
Okay.
Because I'd be in that hot tub, man, and I'd play reggae music and I'd lay there and I'd just imagine myself on a hot beach in the Caribbean, just roasting out, just hot, just enjoying myself. Obviously, you can't drink shit, but I just imagine myself on a Caribbean island somewhere, and just got down to, I'd cut about 5 to 8 pounds usually that first little session, depending on what all I did. And, you know, back then we were putting Epsom salt and stuff in the tub. Now it's just straight hot water. Yeah. And so, yeah, you'll sweat in that hot tub, man. You will. You don't know it.
Right.
But after you dry off and you set and everything, and the thing I'd have to get Kurt. He'd have to like pull me out of the tub, and, you know, because you're in that hot tub and then you get out, you're dizzy. You feel like you're about to pass out. And yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, man. It's just bad. But, you know, and then you got the nerves on top of that. I didn't really feel the nerves until fight day.
What is like your fight day routine? Because everybody's got a similar but different routine. Like everybody does like a shakedown, right? So did you do your shakedown in the back?
I never did one.
You never did a shakedown?
I never did a shakedown.
Or shakeout.
I did a shakeout one time for CFFC. First and only time I ever did it. And one of the best performances I had, I knocked out John Del Bruges in first round. And but I was also the most nervous I had been too. You know, I didn't have a good shakeout. Like I kept second guessing my abilities and different things like that. Like I was grappling with a dude in the cage at the CFFC cage in the venue and all that other stuff. So I got those little nerves and those jittery shit, and then went in the back room, and, you know, it just the nerves hit me in the morning because I know I'm fighting that day. They hit me in the morning, and, you know, if I'm not feeling right, you know, if I had a bad weight cut, I'll know when I wake up.
Yeah.
I'll know, and I'll be like, fuck. And that's what happened with me for Felipe Nova. I remember waking up and I was just like, I felt hungover. Mm-hmm. I just felt like I'd been out drinking all night long and dehydrated. I felt bad, man. And I was like, fuck, dude. Fuck.
That's after you rehydrated,
After
right?
I had 2 IVs too.
Damn, dude.
At 2 IVs.
Still felt like that?
Still felt like that. Yep.
Damn.
Yep. So I tell people I had a bad weight cut for, you know, 1 or 2 fights. I think it was 2 fights I had. I remember, because it had to be 2 fights, because I remember waking up on the day of another fight came like, fuck, not again. Not again, dude. You know? And I can't remember which fight that was. I want to say it was in CFFC, but I can't quite remember. I want to say I fought George Shepard, and, you know, I got knocked out in that fight, man. You know, and that was another thing, is like cutting a lot of weight. That's, you know, I hear Joe Rogan talking about this, but it takes off fluid off of your brain and stuff like that. So who knows how true that is? But
I mean, if
Joe Rogan says it's got to be true.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Jamie looked it up.
Jamie looked it up, man. So
why no shakeout? Because you feel like you're just dispelling energy that you could save, or I wanted to just chill. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to chill and just hang out in the room and not do anything that day, except I hate, it was almost, you know, when you're depressed and you just want to sit at home and not go anywhere. Yep. And you don't have any motivation to do anything. The only thing I want to do when I'm like that is take hot showers, bro.
You're exactly right.
That's all I want to do.
Yeah, man.
Just take a hot shower.
Yeah. So that would be it, man. Oh. That would be it. So it's almost like you're depressed. But why wouldn't you be? Right. You've been locked in this fucking hotel room, probably with the fucking blinds closed. Mm-hmm. You aren't getting outside. You aren't moving around and shit. So, you know, I suggest you definitely shouldn't be locked up in your hotel room, you know, breathing all that recycled air. You need to get outside. You need to get some sun on you. You need to go, you know, like first thing in the morning. But another thing I used to do is we'd go to IHOP and I'd murder a fucking stack of pancakes, man. Mm. Like, what? I've been dieting and eating good this whole entire time. And then let's not talk about after weigh-ins. After weigh-ins, we go and we get some chicken parmesan. You know what I'm saying? It's like
everybody's go-to seems to be Italian.
Yeah, because they think they're carb loading. But I think carb loading isn't the way to go. I think it slows you down a little bit. And I could be wrong, man. If you're not eating fucking pasta and pizza throughout your whole entire, why are you going to do it the day before your most entire fight of your life? Because every fight's the most important fight of your life. Yep. Why are you going to do that before? You should be eating clean, comfortably. You can wait a day. Yeah. You can wait 2 days before you get a nice, good pizza or pasta or whatever you want to do. So some people, it's in their brain. For me, I was like, I want chicken parm. I eat chicken parm one night. Boom, knocked out John Del Bruges. The next time I went, I had to have chicken parm again from the same restaurant.
So it became like a tradition.
Yes. I was very.
Are you superstitious?
Yes, a lot. Everything. If you watch all my MMA fights, I do the same. I'll raise my hands, pump them twice, throw them down. Whenever they say DK, Derek, I'd pump my hands twice. DK Kennington, boom! I'd throw my hands down. I'd kind of shake out and then get my hands up. So
what are some other superstitions?
What I'm wearing.
Like haircuts. I know
haircuts. Yep, gotta have a haircut week of.
Or like show up in a suit or
none of that bullshit. That suit bullshit. But the haircut was a big one. Being, my walkout had to be legit. They had to be, it's just the way my hands are wrapped. A lot of little things like that. I was really superstitious about.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of fighters, like from the food that you eat, especially like the post weigh-in meal, like Jeremiah's thing is Olive Garden.
Yeah.
From that, from the haircut. Now, obviously, Austin and Jeremiah have longer hair, so that their hair is always
braided.
Yeah. But some guys haircut, some guys. They just show up to the venue looking sharp because it's the whole like look good, feel good, fight good kind of ordeal.
I like feeling comfortable.
Well, right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I want to feel comfortable.
Yeah. And I've just noticed different things. And I feel like just about every fighter they might not necessarily be superstitious, but they might
got
just
their
chalk
little
it up
quirks.
to tradition. Right.
Yep, they got their little quirks.
But everybody's got something that they do from what they drink, like, I cannot remember what the guy's name is. I was watching The Ultimate Fighter the other day, and his thing was chocolate milk. Like he drank chocolate milk. That was kind of his comfort thing,
Wow.
So there's a lot of different things. So it's always interesting to talk to somebody and see what they might do differently.
Yeah.
And then like for Jeremiah, the dude wakes up in the morning and goes, and he calls that his shakeout. And then at night, before the fight, when he's in the back, he's back there basically doing it again.
Yeah. And that's, I would shadow box. I wouldn't, depending on what number I am on the fight. I hated being anything less than number 5 if on the fight card.
Okay.
I hated that. I was number 1 before. Fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible, dude, because
Did you fight at like 5?
No, well, I was supposed to be the first fight, right? An hour goes by from the show's supposed to start, and that's the thing. It's like the show's going to start.
Oh,
and the show keeps going. They're waiting for people to come in the doors,
and fucks with your whole mentality.
Fucks with everything, dude. Because guess what I'm doing before, and so if the show's supposed to start at 6, I'm starting my warm up at 5:30 or 5:15.
Right.
I'll go through a little bit of shadow boxing or what have you. Dude, this happened. I can't remember. I was either 3-1, 2-1, whatever, and took this fight in Virginia on short notice. Dude was a scrub. I knew I was going to smoke his ass. But either way it goes, I took the fight. It's $400 too. $400.
Yeah.
Drive up to Virginia. And show's supposed to start at time. Doesn't start until an hour after that.
Damn.
I walk into the ring, and I remember looking at it, and this was the time I was like, man, I'm not ready to fight. I'm tired. Like, I was just, my legs were tired. Fortunately, like, this dude, weird, like, he tried to do a spinning back kick, like, right off the rip, and we ended up, I immediately took him to the ground and tapped him with a arm bar. Like, I mean, real quick.
Yeah.
I think it was about a 47-second fight. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank God.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, I might have, like, pulled him on top of me right into a guard or something like that. Somehow I was on the guard, and I immediately swung for an arm bar, tapped him. So, but, you know, before that, it's like, dude, just like my legs. I like being fight number 5. I'm superstitious because that was my baseball number, and I'm really superstitious. Or I like being number 7 or number 9. Number 9 was my football number.
Okay.
So it's like, I like numbers like that, you know. So, yeah, that's really weird too. But and when I knocked out John Del Bruges, I think I was in fight 5 or 7, something like that.
Yeah, so I always I've thought about that too, because it's a lot like, well, you know, being in the radio business, there's a lot of things like I'll host contests and stuff, and they always say, especially a Halloween costume contest, you know, be there at 9, starting at 9.
Yeah.
You know, that shit ain't gonna start till 10.
Yeah.
You know, so I can.
They want to see how many people is going to be there
Yeah.
and whatnot. Yeah.
So I can imagine, right? Like, oh man, the snot is starting to flow now.
All right, it's flowing down the.
That's disgusting.
That is gross.
But like, I can only imagine, like, you start warming up to be ready to fight in 45 minutes, and then you don't fight till an hour and 45 later, and by that time you're like, fuck, dude.
Well, and then when I was in Italy, you know, they iced us, so meaning they build us up, like fights are going, boom. Now we're not fighting anytime soon. Then fight, not fighting. So I get warmed up, hyped up, pumped up. My adrenaline would start fucking raising up, man. And then I'd have to calm down. I'm like, all right, I can't get too hype, can't get too hype. And then I'd get hype again. And then I'd have, you know, they only had a little, so it was a big, we were outside in a tent. So it was like a big event type, real nice tent. And then in the middle, it had this big, giant, long vinyl like separator. You know, we had big, giant mats in there and everything too. But all you had to do, if their coach could like sit right here and literally see everybody, you know what I'm saying? Is it just depending on where you see. So like his coaches were like watching me warm up.
Yeah.
And I don't like that, man. I don't like that whatsoever. So I was cussing at them. I was talking to them in English, and obviously, and you know,
could they understand you?
Who knows, you know? But I was just like, I'm gonna fuck y'all up. I'm just, you know, I was just talking shit, you know.
I don't know if you said it, but he was in Italy, so that's why I asked if they could understand him.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. But it fucked with me a little bit, like building me up, and then my adrenaline going up and then going down, going up and going down, going up and going down, you know. And I was coming off a loss too. I was fighting a tough guy in Italy. I was there fighting for Jeff Gimo. You know, he had got me the fight, and he was in the corner of me too. So I was like really nervous to perform for him.
By the way, owns Gimo Academy.
Yeah, Gimo Academy. Chris Weidman trains there.
Yeah. Is that Barbarina?
Honeycutt trains there. Brian Barbarina trains there.
Joe Selecki.
He's
got a couple of UFC caliber dudes in there.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
So, but Jeff's been a mentor of mine for over 15 years, dude. I've met the guy when I was 1-on-1 as a professional, and he's been nothing but an amazing individual to me the whole entire time.
He's a funny guy, too, man.
Yeah. He's about, I want to say he's about 54, 55,
dude.
53, something like that.
When I was there filming with Austin, he was saying some raunchy shit, dude. Like, whenever I watched the footage back, you couldn't hear it, but like you could hear me laughing.
Yeah.
Like, that dude's a funny guy.
Yeah, he is funny. But he's a great individual, man. But you know, Austin went up there and worked with him. You know, this fight camp. He'd drive 3 to 3.5 hours each way, man.
Yeah, and he drives 6 hours to train for one.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, whenever I went with them, because they didn't do jiu-jitsu after. So they were training for like roughly like an hour. So I was like, damn, dude, that's a long ass
Yeah, when I went
drive.
up there, he trained for 3 hours though.
Shit.
Yeah.
So he must have did what, striking,
He did
jiu-jitsu and wrestling? or
MMA sparring, wrestling,
something?
and then jiu-jitsu.
Damn.
Yep. And during some of those rounds, he was rolling 7-minute goes,
Damn.
8-minute rounds. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. All right, we're talking about fight week. Now, I used to be a heavy stoner, dude. I don't smoke anymore, just a personal preference.
So do you smoke during fight week?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you
Yeah.
smoked during not necessarily fight week, but your fight camp.
Yeah.
You would.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't feel like that like fucked with you at all? No?
No.
Not like cardio or anything?
No.
I always wondered that too.
I think it kind of relaxes the body a little bit, so I don't see an issue with it.
I got you.
Yeah.
No, I was just curious because I mean, after all, like it is something combusting into your lungs.
Yeah, and you also
Yeah.
got to think though, how have you been coming into to your training sessions? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What have you been doing in your training session? Because you need to be doing the exact same thing for the fight,
Gotcha.
right?
Yeah. Would you smoke during fight week?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all the way up to
All
it.
the way.
Right on, dude. Yeah, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I used to be a heavy stoner. Like when I played sports in high school, high every game.
Yeah,
You know, kids. I'm not saying to do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Bad times.
we are not role models, or at least I'm not. But yeah, and I would never feel like it affected me back then. But then back then, the weed was different, dude. It was different. Like you don't have the different grades these days. You just that shit will
Dude.
just boom, instant anxiety attack.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, see, back then, you had like your Reggies is what we called it, your middies, and then if you were in high school and you had a job and you could afford to get like some dank,
High grade.
yeah,
Yeah.
then you could do that. But like, I would just smoke mid grade, man, and it would like bam in the zone every time, man. I mean,
Yeah.
now
Some people are different. Some people it does cause the anxiety and different things like that. But I've known some fighters that they would smoke for ever and then not smoke fight week.
yeah,
And I'm like, so you're going through like not withdrawals. I don't think there's withdrawals for that.
oh no, when I quit cold turkey. I definitely
Yeah.
had.
You have withdrawals?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
dude. I mean, but like, it's not like feeling sick. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
insomnia, can't sleep, appetite's gone.
For sure.
You
Yeah,
know?
you want to like, man, I just want to like relax a little bit, because
Yeah.
you feel a little bit uptight and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I don't know. I just think you need to continue on with, your regiment, what you've been doing throughout the whole entire fight camp. If I've been taking a protein shake every single day, at these times, the fight week, I'm not going to cancel out the protein shake.
Right.
I'm going to keep the protein shake, or if I'm going to keep the whatever. And I've made some mistakes in the past too with some stuff that I would take, and then on fight day I wouldn't. Maybe because I'd forget or something like that. Meaning like supplements and stuff. So yeah, it's just different, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what. Ethan back there.
Ethan's funny.
No, he was showing me the time because I know y'all got a kids class.
Yeah, we got
coming in.
kids class coming up. Yeah, so
So, well, you just threw me off, Ethan.
yeah, stop throwing us off, man. It's a weirdo. over
What?
there.
Do you want screen time? Is that what it is? Yeah, come on.
You can sit right here if you want.
Hey, you want to sit in the middle?
You want to sit in the middle? Yeah.
We're getting ready to, yeah.
Ethan's getting ready for kids class. Oh, you gonna take the bare feet?
What's your cash app?
Oh gosh.
So you're competing this week too, right?
Yeah. Toro Cup.
March 2nd. Yep, on
I
Saturday.
can't take that off, but
Yeah.
yeah. So what is it? Give us some details.
It's on Toro Cup, Durham, North Carolina. Toro Cup in North Carolina, Durham, North Carolina. It's a really long running grappling event in North Carolina. They've had a lot of like high name people on there, like Nikki Ryan, Drow Meow, a lot of people like that. So it's always a fun event to
It's
go
on
to.
Flow Grappling.
Oh yeah, you can watch it on Flow Grappling.
Ooh, they just switched. No more.
So how?
No
so
more
can you
Flow.
watch it
Hey,
live?
Flow's going through like a. They're getting sued. It's like a class action lawsuit. I got an email about it. It's like a $2 million class action lawsuit.
Damn.
Yeah,
What,
they were asking.
like charging people when they quit.
I
or
don't really remember that. But anyways, we got to run, guys.
Yeah. So yeah. Real quick. How can you watch it? Can you watch it?
Yeah, I'll have to comment on the YouTube later.
All right. Well, he'll comment on the YouTube later. Ring of Combat will be there this weekend. I believe you can watch that on YouTube.
I don't know, but they do. They usually do a YouTube, but
Okay.
I think they're going to be doing a live pay-per-view too.
Okay,
Yeah. And then
gotcha.
same with Nemesis fighting. I think it's Nemesis Fighting Alliance
Yep.
Right.
That's the one that
in
Jay-Z's
St. Louis.
fighting.
Yeah,
St.
he's a
Louis.
main event fighting two-time UFC vet too this weekend. So we got a lot of stuff. We got 5 people
Yeah.
at Toro Cup. Ethan and Phil headlining for our team, and then we got Lucas competing. Then we got Zach Moore's competing, and then Cory is competing too. So
Awesome, man.
yeah,
Well, it's going to be an exciting week for the academy and a lot of athletes here.
busy.
Yeah, can't wait, man. Can't wait. Let's take us out, DK.
Cool. Thank you guys so much. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Keep us train rolling. We appreciate you guys so much.
Yep, what DK said. And Monday, Embedded will be dropping 5 p.m. Appreciate y'all. Until next time.
Out.